I just got bombarded with this message from Source, and I just pulled in to my house from work, and I just had to record while I moisturize. Whoever needs to hear this or listen to this, I'm gonna tell you it. Thank you for listening to me yap. You have a divine purpose. And people will come and they will place doubts on you. They have all your life. Aunties, uncles, cousins, kids at school, your parents, grandparents, religious organizations. But if you are still talking about them and bringing them into light, you are still being controlled by those people, places, and things. I've said it in my other videos, and I'm going to say it again. If you grew up worshiping an Abrahamic God, which is technically to me a god of war, we're talking about false idols, right? So that God, to me, the false idol, you are worshiping favoritism, you are worshiping sacrifice, human sacrifice, you are worshiping war, you are worshiping conditions. How are we all to have this beautiful divine purpose, but we all need to be heterosexual, married by a certain age, have a certain salary, with this many kids? Why does that have to be all of our stories? You worship conditions. You still allow yourself to be controlled by what you were brought up in. So those people, those places and things, they're no longer of the past. They're in today. You can't stop practicing old behaviors if you're practicing them today. So if you know what it is that triggers you, because nobody is responsible to tiptoe around your triggers, you are responsible to work through them. We don't need diversity, equity, and inclusion and empathy for your triggers. We need, empathy is necessary. I take that back. We need empathy for one another, sympathy for one another, understanding for one another. But you hold the key to let go of what's controlling you. If you're still bringing up that shit, if you're telling yourself, I wish I was richer now, I wish I was married by now, I wish that I had this car, I wish that my life wasn't this, wasn't that, wasn't this, wasn't that. What you are doing is that you are still allowing the conditions of what has been killing you since the moment you could have any type of consciousness. And there's nobody to blame right now but you, because you've got to work through it. And working through it looks ugly. And some people are afraid to feel, address, have pain. Some people are also very afraid to be holding their own selves accountable. But right now, you need to know that you have a divine purpose. What is that divine purpose? To be like everybody else? To live your life like everybody else thinks you should have lived your life? So that all of you can come together in community and complain about how all of your lives are not met up to expectation? Who is living the life that their expectations meet in this consumerist society? I mean, people in the Congo are dying. Children are dying so you can have this next new phone. So you can have this next new TV. What if the answer was in worrying about what's not next, but about being one with oneself today authentically? There's no timeline. There's no timeline in comparison. Like, what I'm hearing is that stop comparing yourself to other people's timelines. Because the majority of the world is living off of a blueprint that is frankly fucked. The blueprint has people dying miserable, dying with regrets, wishing they walked away sooner. The blueprint has everybody in collective misery, but everybody is still following the blueprint. Write your own story, but also know that you have a purpose. You don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to follow the rules of society or be whatever it is that you need to be or to fit. You don't need it. You don't need it. You're not here for that. And if people throw doubt and shame or guilt or whatever the fuck your way, let them have it. Return the energy back to its sender. What happened from your aunties and your uncles and your parents and your siblings and your cousins and the people at school, return it back to sender right now in this moment. It's not yours to hold. Quit holding it. Let it go. Poof. Let it go. And live your life. You don't have to seek the justice that you crave or look around for them to see if they're suffering or see if life got to them or if your punishing God has reached his hands on them. Let him go. Let them deal with themselves. Let it go.